last meeting for the year, unless something else comes up between now and then when we need to meet. But we're certainly thankful and excited about being here today. And I'll ask Supervisor Montgomery if you don't mind, lead us to a prayer.
You would bow your head. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for all our many blessings, and thank you for each and every one of the board members and everyone else that's here today and everything that they mean to this county, and not only this county but to myself, and all the fond memories that I'll carry on. And dear Lord, be with each and every one of the people that I mention here, and not only through this meeting, but as we leave this meeting and throughout the rest of this year and moving forward into 2024. Thank you for Oktibbeha County and what it means to each and every one of us. Thank you for this great state of Mississippi, and thank you for this country and all the freedoms it provides to each and every one of us. Dear Lord, be with our military, not only the ones here, but the ones that are abroad. Keep the doors of freedom open. And dear Lord, thank you for your son, Jesus, as we come up on this Christmas season, and what he has done for each and every one of us, and the birth of Jesus and what it means to each of us here. Thank you for all the many blessings that we've seen Oktibbeha County get in the past, and the ones present and the ones in the future. It's in your son Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Thank you, Supervisor Montgomery. At this time, we'll follow our agenda. We have the first item on the agenda is citizen comment period. Are there any citizens here that would like to approach the board for up to 3 minutes? You may come forward and do so at this time. Good morning, Mr. Turner.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Turner.
Right. No. Been catching chills all week, but might be getting closer to what happened to my brother. But cause I want you to keep close with me, might have seen what I need to see on yesterday. But anyway, our cuz and all, and my sisters had been through a lot, but we're gonna have to keep our eyes and ears open as days come. And Miss Dolores kind of keep me informed on the
What you thinking?
Unity Park?
yeah, Unity Park.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. All right. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward? If not, then we'll move forward. Mr. Cecil Jackson, community concern. I don't see Mr. Jackson. If not, then we'll move right along. Ms. Barbara Kuban, assessment change. Good morning.
I do have a slight question. The last one on the list, Smith. That, I guess you didn't have reinstating the homestead exemption. So she has already paid. Is that going to be a reimbursement? That's what I need to know. Thank you.
Any more questions, comments? If not, what's the pleasure board on the question? Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Montgomery. Are there any questions concerning the motion? All those in favor, let it be known by the appropriate voting sign. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Coupon. Appreciate all you do. Move right along to the next item. Election Commissioner, County Insurance.
Okay, this chair for this. I'm gonna have a seat.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm right behind you, Susan. I come for the purchase of insurance for the election commissioner. We came back in, I think it was 19 y'all voted to approve of it with the understanding of looking at the policy. We were promised that we would be enrolled in that November, and then we were told we could not enroll. I came back this June, we checked the minutes, and y'all did approve of it, but we still not able to enroll. We got 3 people that's gonna be running for commissioner next year, and that's basically a way for us to entice younger generation to come in and learn this process, because I tell you, it's a lot of work over there. And I know we're part-time, but we're not really part-time. We're elected officials just like y'all. In a year, we can work up to 205 days. When you compare that to an office staff, they work about 240 days. So that's not even part-time. That's almost as many days as they do. But if the office closed for ice or storms or anything, they actually get paid. We cannot get paid. When the office shut down, there goes our time. If we don't work, we don't get paid, and that's our policy, and that is state policy. But if you go back to look at the Mississippi statute book, the book of 25, I think it's 25-3, 100, 25-3, and 103, that the legislative gave y'all the right to give us that option to give us insurance. Dave Hawley is coming aboard in January. He was under the understanding that we would have insurance. I don't know if he won't come anymore if he don't have insurance. That's gonna throw us in a special election next year. Our youngest commissioner, Ernest Roger, he needs insurance. I just feel like we ought to have that option. So I come again today to ask, why can't we get enrolled in insurance with the county?
I thought we had this agreed upon that we were going to do that. We've talked about it several times. That was even in the first term, the first time they came.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, my first term, I'm sorry.
But every year we've been told, you're not eligible, you're not eligible, you're not eligible.
Yeah, but you did become eligible.
Apparently not, county admin won't let us.
Yes, ma'am.
In 2019, there was a board order put in place to add them to the insurance. I can only speak on what I assume based on my own research, is that because of the description of their responsibilities, they are considered part-time. So the last board order this year we put in place, that board order did not approve to put them on, put the commissioner on insurance. It asked me to do research to see if it was feasible to put them on insurance. That's how that board order reads that we put in place this year. I did the research. I actually contacted the auditor. What they recommend is the board do nothing until you revise the handbook, because right now the handbook clearly states that county benefits are only issued to full-time employees, which will mean temporary and part-time employees will not qualify. That's where we are today. We need to revise that handbook anyway. And I'm not opposing the insurance, but just because board orders are put in place, they may not always be correct with us moving forward with doing things without it being an audit problem.
But if you talk to the Attorney General, we're not part-time, we're elected officials.
Well, I talked to the auditors and they're the ones that come into the office, that
Well,
we have to produce documents for. However, I'm gonna do whatever this board say, but that's the information I found out based on the research, and that is what I was advised, is that this body, when the new board come in, look at revising that handbook to specifically say, because they are part-time, to say that all election commissioners qualify for benefits.
Would the handbook really apply to the election commissioners since we're elected and not part-time?
Well, you kind of still are part-time.
So we were never given the handbook.
Well, and here's the other thing I would say, even supervisor jobs part-time. That's what this is, I mean, so you're talking about two elected offices, basically with the same, that fall under the same thing, we're considered a part-time job. I mean, that's how it's written. We're elected officials, so I don't understand what the difference is. I agree with you on that. We need to figure out what the difference is, why it would be any different for the election commissioners than it is for the supervisors. Because we have the option to opt into the insurance or opt out.
Rob, can we get an AG opinion on that?
I was gonna suggest
Or are
that,
there
yeah.
AG opinions on that?
There's some similar to what you're asking, that doesn't exactly answer this particular question that we're saying, that I think that would be the appropriate spot to plug into.
As a board, I don't think it would be.
If we had an AG's opinion that basically protected us from
Yes or
whatever
no?
audit issue is,
Yeah.
I think that would be the appropriate, cause I mean, the real issue is an elected, when someone is elected, are they considered the part-time under our handbook? And I think you've got some arguing, I think, probably going on from the state side of it. You got the audit office saying one thing, which is not uncommon, this happens, but let me find out and see if we can get an AG's opinion on it.
Should we go ahead and make a, would
Yes,
that be
let's do that.
agreeable with the board?
Well,
Yeah.
I have a question first. You know, it is time sensitive in the fact that if Ernest is going to get it, he's going to have to have applied in the open enrollment.
During that period,
And he
yes.
was his paperwork was given back to him and told he was not eligible. So he's gonna fall outside open enrollment. Now Dave is a new hire, so he will become January. It doesn't make any difference, but for Ernest, it does make a difference.
It doesn't. It won't. It'll take effect within 30 days of the
Exactly.
So open enrollment does not apply in this situation.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Just like any
Okay.
new employee coming on, they qualify for insurance at that time.
So,
Well,
as soon as
that-
we can get the AG
But Ernest
opinion
is not
back.
a new employee.
I know, but it'll be new being issued to him,
Okay.
new being available.
Well, then why was it told that it had to wait till November when they came in June?
Because right now, at this time, it's not clear as to if you all qualify or not, and I was advised by the auditors, don't make a move until this board revises the handbook. Now, that is what I was told, and that's what I'm saying to the board. But again, whatever decision this board makes, then that's what we'll do.
And I'm not saying it for me because I don't need it. I have the insurance. It doesn't make any difference, but Ernest and Dave, it does make a difference.
I think our board attorney is on the right road to go ahead and get an attorney general.
We're trying to expedite it as quickly as possible so that it doesn't interfere with anybody, but assuming that it does, the new hire side of this, it shouldn't plug in if we get the okay to do it.
Do we need a board order to say we're
I would
asking for
prefer
that
one, yes.
AG opinion?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Supervisor Montgomery, second by Supervisor Miller. Are there any questions concerning the motion?
Yeah, I hope we make it work, cause you all are elected officials, and I'd like to see you with insurance
And
too.
personally, it's no difference in the board of supervisors. Everybody's elected is elected, you know. And as I said, it has nothing to do with me because I'm not gonna be taking it, so.
And I'm in favor of it too,
Right,
but
yes,
I'm
I
also,
understand,
you
right.
know,
It's gotta be
it's understanding that our
Right.
county administrator has to go by.
Everybody's got
I
one.
I understand that, but yes,
Allow her to say something.
no.
No, there's another qualification as far as PERS. That was the difference between election commissioners. You guys do not qualify for PERS, but the board of supervisors does. Even though both are elected officials, there are still some differences from the board of supervisors and from the election commissioner. But I mean, like they said, that Attorney Robinson would do research into it, but I did stumble upon some information with the previous administrator with the information that she found out.
Okay.
I think she did give that to you at that time, highlighted when she was the administrator about that, but I'm not sure.
I wasn't here then.
I understand.
Okay, yeah.
Right, we're not
understand.
eligible for PERS
Right.
because we are per diem.
And that
We're
was
not
one of the
part-time, we're per
qualifications
diem.
that disqualified.
And that disqualified, the board of supervisors on salary.
But there, you have to be, okay.
While we're flushing this out, I have a question whenever I'm asking
That was one of the disqualifications.
the AG's opinion.
Can you do research on it?
Are we the county paying for the insurance, or is there part of it that the employee is paying and part of it that the county's paying, or is it 100%? Cause that may make a
It's
difference in how.
100% the county pays the premium.
So that's gonna be a
100%.
distinct difference,
Yes.
okay, I need to make sure that I'm getting this right.
That's just for the employee though.
Yeah, But that's what they asked.
But what I'm saying is, if the employee decides to add his family and all the other stuff.
Oh, they have to pay that.
That became an issue too.
So that's the distinct difference, if the family comes, I'm trying to make sure I
Now,
got my head together.
The family will be at the cost of the employee,
Okay, gotcha.
Or spouse.
or the spouse, or that would, yeah.
Any more discussion? All those in favor, let me know by the proper vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Don't forget to stop by.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Well, we'll move.
Did we vote on that?
Yes,
I
sir.
like
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got it.
Moving right along to the next item. Mr. Collins, Road Department update. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Just, a couple of things. Get out the way. One, we have a quote, the repair or the upgrade to Silver Ridge Road Bridge. I think you should have two bids in the package, and that is to go in and do the pilings, repair the pilings, and then put concrete casing around.
So will you tell them about the pilings, where they are, I mean, how they are right now?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there one that has that around it? Didn't y'all go in and pour
One,
concrete?
well, one of them was done back, yeah.
Yeah, so
One
what
of
they
them was
did
done.
before is they went in and put like a culvert or something around it,
Yeah,
and poured
yeah.
concrete to strengthen them, and this is doing basically the same thing to this other bridge.
Mhm.
Because underneath the pilings need to be strengthened up, so I'd like to make the motion to take whatever bid y'all wanna take on that, if that's okay, to fix the
You
bridge.
comfortable with the cheapest one, we have the cheapest.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and I did, take the advice of, our, Clyde on it
Right.
too, on the bid, so I did go with him and we discussed it.
That's good, sir. Thank
What's
you.
the name of the company that we have the lowest bid?
It was,
Your friendly crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BJ,
It is, you want this?
BJ.
This paperwork?
I've got it.
Same page.
It's the second page, 39,500.
Okay, thank you.
We got a motion, a second motion by Supervisor Montgomery, second by Supervisor Miller. Are there any questions concerning the motion?
When you flip that, that's okay.
A motion by Supervisor Miller, second by Supervisor Montgomery. Are there any questions concerning the motion?
He's been doing some good work for us.
All those in favor, let me know by the proper vote, sir. Motion passes unanimously.
and second, we are finishing up on the void work on the County Lake, conduit. They came back out, we found one more void, they are finishing that up this morning.
They were out there when
Yeah,
it came
okay.
through.
Filling it in. Yeah, we found one void that was actually where the drain pipe was dumping into the thing and going under. And so they're working on that this morning, they should be finished, may be finished by now, it's just according to how much material it was gonna take to fill that void. But, and I think then we'll pretty well have that conduit sealed up and, be ready to do our little work on the sinkhole. We're gonna fill that in and hopefully we'll watch it and see what happens. But, y'all should have.
What did they spray in there?
It's,
I mean, it looks like blue, what is it?
well, it's a material,
I'm just
it's a
saying, it does, it looks like.
yeah, it's polyurethane, and what it does, it's two sides to it. It comes in two different drums. It doesn't mix until,
At the nozzle.
yeah, it doesn't mix until it gets to the nozzle. And when it gets to the nozzle, it mix. And from what the guy told me, I questioned him about it, a quarter size of it, when it mixes, it expands to a baseball size. So and what it does, it goes in and it expands out in that void as they pumps it in, and they pumps it in at different temperatures according to what they want it to do.
And you're talking, but when you say void, you're talking about the seams in
The seams and the,
in the pipe.
yeah, the seams.
And that's what was
and the, yeah.
it had cracks in it,
it
right?
had
the
cracks
seams.
in it,
And
and
so the sand
material.
was coming between.
Yeah, the
Okay.
material in those cracks had sucked out. And actually, they could put a rod in there, and some of them was actually 3 feet in there.
Yeah.
And so, this stuff is supposed to expand, and it works by heat. The hotter it is, the more it expands. And when they get to a certain state, they cool it down before it goes into it, and it cools down and reacts faster. That means it hardens faster. So,
Can you see it heave the ground up? I mean,
it can if they were that shallow, but this conduit is pretty deep.
What happened was, and you're right, it was cracks in the conduit, but those cracks created voids in the dam. So the dam actually had voids in it outside of the conduit. This sort of works like, you know, that spray foam insulation, you spray it in a crack and it expands and seals off. Yeah, that's what happened,
but it's denser.
Right.
Yeah, this
it's
is denser,
and
yeah.
it'll fill up and get hard as concrete, and there's quite a few voids was in that dam out there.
You know, not just on this, but I think that's a lot of things when we get reports back, we should have been more proactive on them, because we had 2 reports that told us that they needed the cracks that were filling in, you know, in prior years, so.
And,
But I'm glad we're getting it fixed now, then we wouldn't have had any sinkholes. And,
they also can use this material to actually fix voids in roads also.
Oh, wow.
If a road is sloughing off, they can actually go in, drill holes, pump this stuff underneath, and it'll bring that void back up, and it'll harden it up and seal it
So
off.
that's what they're using under these sidewalks to level them again?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
And that gonna stay over time?
Oh yeah, it stays over time, it's there permanently. Once it hardens, it's there. He showed me some pictures where they did several things in other counties, down in,
Yeah.
one of the biggest counties in the state of Mississippi. Well, one of the richest counties in the state of Mississippi, down in Madison County. And they've done a lot of work there in leveling those voids where the roads, they get bad and they go in there and pump them back up, and all they have to do then is pave over.
And so I'm gonna ask this, if it expands that much, could we not use it in potholes and then just put something over the top of it? Paint over, I'm just saying, would that be a cheaper way?
Well,
You know, to put it in a pothole and then spray paint it black over the top or whatever, I know that you're laughing, but.
I mean, it is, I thought about the same thing when he was explaining it to me. And the cost effect of it is kinda like what we do it, because, you know, if those holes are not just a whole lot of them there, it's so much moving around and pulling the truck, the hoses and all back in the truck, the cost effective of it, yeah.
So it's not something that you can buy and do?
No,
Okay.
you gotta have a special pump. They got a trailer with, they got barrels of that stuff in, it's got a special pump that actually heats up the material, cools it down to whatever temperature, and then a compressor and generator and all that's in that truck. But it's cost, you know, it was something that we probably wanna look at later on down the road, where we got some of these places that's fluffing down and sinking in that we need to bring up without going in there and digging it up.
Victor, do you think Santa Claus would bring us one of those?
I've been wishing for a lot of stuff from Santa Claus.
One last thing for me is, Whispering Pines.
We're gonna get in there. Well, I got all my stuff back to fix the road, so we're gonna actually try to get it fixed this week. And if the plant opens, we may get it done. And on the block material,
Yeah, that is my
Yeah.
last question is, will you give me I gave y'all the list.
yeah.
Will you go back through so I can get it to Patty and tell me which ones
Okay.
are complete, which ones aren't,
Okay.
and where we are on those?
Alright.
So,
Yeah.
Keith, can you email me when you get it? Be great, thank you.
All
Right,
right.
I have, what will work then, on Lever and, Johnson Road? Would that type of material be sufficient, or
let
we
me
need to
take-
look at
let me take a
another
look
way
at
of
it.
taking care of that?
Well, let me take a look at it now. If it's according to how those voids are,
Right.
let me take a look at it and see just how they are.
Yeah.
And then I will get with the guy that's doing the work. He'll come up and he'll tell me what will work and what won't work.
Good deal.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Collins.
All right.
You have a great day. Appreciate all your time.
I make a motion to acknowledge this report.
Motion by Supervisor Miller, second by Supervisor Williams. Are there any questions concerning that motion? All of those in favor, let it be known by the appropriate vote. Motion passes unanimously. Moving to the next item, Ms. Livingston, Council Clerk.
The only thing I have is the affidavit of publication that we did for Starkville Daily News on 2021 audit.
So move.
Motion by Supervisor Howard, second by Supervisor Montgomery. Are there any questions concerning that motion? All those in favor, let it be known by the appropriate vote. Motion passes unanimously.
And that's all I have.
Okay, moving right along, county business administration. Ms.
Have
Palmer.
Neil Schaefer invoice number 1092321 in the amount of $3,110 for approval.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Howard. Are there any questions concerning that motion? All those in favor, let it be known by the proper vote sign. Motion passes unanimously.
Have Mississippi Engineering Group invoice number 167-1145 in the amount of $27,397.50.
So moved.
Motion by Supervisor Howard, second by Supervisor Montgomery. Are there any questions concerning that motion? All those in favor, let it be known by the appropriate voting sign. Aye. Motion passes 4-1.
And we need board approval, acknowledging the County Lake Dam inspection for fiscal year 2023.
So
Motion by
moved.
Supervisor Howard, second by Supervisor Montgomery. Are there any questions concerning that motion? All those in favor, let it be known by the appropriate voting sign. Aye.
I did
Motion
read
passes
that.
4-1.
Yeah, I did. I looked at that inspection and we talked about, filling some cracks, in the conduit. But there's also some animal boards. And I don't know, you probably know all about that. Would that be sufficient to fill some of those animal boards, or we need to wait to do that some other way?
Those are what they thinking is muskrats down, all the way down at the foot of the dam, actually, sort of off the foot. And the engineers, all of them that's been out there don't seem to be too concerned about those animal boards. They're not boring back into the dam, so.
That's the only thing, when I looked at the inspection, that's the only thing that kinda caught my attention there.
Yeah, but it's on there.
Thank you.
Periodically, I have to go down and look at it, make sure the water's not seeping through.
Yeah, that's what, thank you for clearing that up.
Moving right along, the next item, county business, board attorney.
There's things that I wanna discuss, we'll probably have to go into executive session, do you wanna save it for last?
Oh, yeah, I guess we can. All right, moving right along, the county business supervisors. I think item number 1, community council and service commissioner appointment. If I'm not mistaken, I think we had 3 potential candidates with their bios, resumes that were included in our package. I don't know whether you had a chance to look at them, or whether you have a preference.
Did we get any additional information on the young lady that was the school counselor other than?
That's all I received.
I would, if y'all are not opposed, I'd like to appoint Mr. Tuttle.
He's got the most education.
I think Ms. Sistrum has most of the things.
I'd like to make the motion if I get 3 votes to nominate Wayne Tubb.
I'll second that.
I think, well, I know Ms. Lewis is I know she's a counselor, she's a wife, her mother has some children involved in the other ones, I don't know exactly, I don't know Ms. Tubb, that really, I think I do know Ms. Tubb.
I think the thing impressed me with Ms. Lewis is the fact that she's married with children. And community council deals lots with that. That's really the only thing that really stood out, in the fact that she's a school counselor. But she didn't give a whole lot of information. If I could get some more information on her, I think that would really be my choice. I really don't know what she's a school counselor at, if someone maybe know more about, more information.
I think she's over it, she didn't start a lot of school districts in the United States.
Did you notice on Mr. Tubb that he's, some conference of social welfare, social education, Martin Luther King, executive board member. He's very engaged in what's going on.
Which one you got on Mr. Tubb?
No, I'm sorry, I put it back, that's not him, I'm sorry.
Well, now, we can go with that.
That was Sistron, never mind,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
to me now, we can go with whomever, but the most qualified and the most experienced for me would be Cistron. That's the one that's actually the most qualified to me.
Well, I know we got a motion and second from Mr. Tilley. Any more questions concerning that motion? All those in favor of Mr. Tilley, let me know by the proper vote sign. Okay, all those opposed, same sign. The motion passes for Mr. Tilley 4-1. And if you will, just contact Mr. Tilley and also, community council, give them the information.
You know that particular guy.
Yeah, I will. One job, oh yeah.
All right, moving right along to the next item. Mr. Patrick Warren, come on up, sir.
Well, we've had a pretty good year so far. No injuries throughout the county. We've had a good year. We've made some good strides, and we've made improvements through the county fire department, and I've been pleased. I hope to continue this through the next year, and I would like to just say thank you to the board for all y'all's support and help. And I do have something I'd like to give Mr. Montgomery and Mrs. Miller for their support, everything through the years. I'd like to recognize them from the fire department for all their support. Y'all get together.
We'll let Patrick get in the middle.
Either way, we really do appreciate y'all and what y'all done for the county. Thank y'all.
And before you all sit down, be still right there.
Let's try it again.
Come on,
Let's try it again.
Hey, would you like to have everybody seal or does it matter?
It's however y'all would like.
Yeah, y'all come on with it.
You look around the room.
Is there a computer here with all their emails on it?
Get out of the way.
Hold it down a little bit, so you can see it. Hold both hands.
She wasn't sure.
Yeah, Jim's falling, John.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Full. He thought at one point he saw a computer here with, so they could all check.
All right, don't go nowhere. Okay. Supervisor Miller and Supervisor Montgomery, on behalf of your colleagues who you have worked with for 8 years, and you have worked with for 12 years, we want to present you on behalf of your colleagues a token of appreciation to remember the great work and the great service that you have rendered to our people of County. We certainly hate to see you go, but we certainly wish you the best in whatever you decide to pursue. May God bless you and you continue to be a blessing to people that you come into contact with. So Supervisor Miller, we want to present this to you for 8 years of great service, and Supervisor Montgomery, we want to present this to you for 12 years of great service. Thank you so much.
When the cameras come out, he gets nervous. No, he gets so nervous.
Send me some pictures we took when we gave him. Did he show you what we gave him? The Tennessee flag.
Perfect.
One more, this for the website.
He came over and he was so proud to. Thank you.
And that's just a portion of the best of y'all.
I will say this is, thank y'all so much.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Put them in there.
Cause I'm rough on stuff.
But at this time, Supervisor Miller, Supervisor Montgomery, you're more than welcome to make whatever statements, comments, criticism, complaints, whatever you want to do. The floor is yours.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
You've heard enough criticism out of me over the last 8 years, or challenges, but I do wanna say thank you. I've enjoyed serving with all of you, and, I really have. I've grown out of the service to this community. I have. I didn't know anything, I didn't know what soul limit was. You know, I didn't know how hard it was to get elected. You know, the first time I didn't win, and a woman had never won in this seat before. And so, you know, I'd like to think that added some, opened the roads for things that are yet to come, because you saw the changes, 8 years later, that, a woman won and a Republican won, and I was the first Republican also to win the district. So, and, I don't know why I'm crying.
John,
But
I
that's
know
sad,
you
it got
want
sad
to-
tears. But,
John, look, give yours to the family.
Y'all gonna give me
Yours
a
to the
Well,
I mean, we've done it, when I look back over the 8 years, I just wanna say how many things that we have gotten accomplished. You know, and people a lot of times don't remember what you do. They're always complaining, just like that preacher that goes to church and everybody comes out and says, "Preacher, you did such a good job today." And that one guy walks by and said, "You know, it just wasn't your best sermon." And that's all he can think about, you know, was it your best sermon? But, you know, when I do think about all the things that we did, and I think about in District 4, I think about that first night when I came to the board meeting, and I said, "Hey guys, can we partner on this grant for the sidewalk?" And it was a 3-part partnership, and we had never done that. You know, we had never partnered with the city and the county on we had never done a sidewalk. And that was the first thing, and how that's just developed through that last 8 years. I mean, we have followed that trend, and we get so much more accomplished when we work together. And look at how many things that we've done together now as a partnership, and how we've moved the whole community forward. We also, you know, did the bond, and I know in my district, we, the first term, paved over 15 miles of roads and resurfaced them, and that's just absolutely unheard of, you know, to get that accomplished. Y'all didn't just support in one thing, but, you know, in the libraries, we're trying to pick in Sturgis between having a police car or having a library. You know, the board got behind them and said, "You're gonna have both." And, we kept the library open. You know, Kristen has worked so hard on the, systems to make sure that the citizens are safe. And, we have all those systems in all these small communities and big communities now. I mean, that's big stuff. When I came to you and said, "Hey, will y'all let me go down to Ceasefire and see if I could sell fiber as a business plan?" And you let me go. And I went down and told them the idea of doing South Montgomery area in the county as a business plan with the Clearwater group. And, you know, that sparked all of that. And then once they started doing it, they saw that it was so beneficial to them. And how the community now, I mean, 8 years ago, nobody had internet. We've got internet. We're seeing the same thing with natural gas. We're just seeing things grow. Let's talk about the hospital and what a challenge that was, you know, and how the main thing that our goal was is, even though some of us stood on different sides of the fence, the main goal was for people to understand what was coming down the pipe for them, so that they could make a decision, you know. And I think that just getting them informed, you know, has been a big thing. I wanna thank y'all for, when I came to the board and said, "Let's live feed these meetings, let's get more transparency. I'm gonna do a supervisor page, a Facebook page." You know, that was the first time we had done anything like that, to get more community involvement. But look what it's done. You know, it's brought more people to our meetings. They go back and they watch them online. And whether they agree with us or not, I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to serve them. And through some of the challenges, we've come up with the best solutions. You know, we really have. And I'm gonna talk about the hospital again. When you look back, you know, there was some personal things that, you know, people got real personal about it. Because when people care about a community, they get personal. But when you're a politician, and when you're sitting in the seat, you can't take it personal. And, you know, so regardless what, you know, people thought, the main goal was to make sure that they had all the information. And, you know, I think as y'all continue to move forward, I think that, you know, just the same thing is so important. As long as there's transparency and your taxpayers know what you're spending your money on, they understand. They want their voices to be heard, but they just want you to hear them. You know, and as long as you come back and give them a good explanation about what you're gonna do. Cause if I got threatened one time that I would never be elected again for, you know, trying to explain the hospital situation, I got that a million times. But I felt like in my heart that was the right thing to do. You know, was to let people know what we had found out at that meeting, that that model of a system was just not gonna work anymore, you know, and that's the reason they were encouraging us to take those changes and make those changes in our community, you know. Look at how many bridges we've gotten fixed. Look at how much equipment we've gotten done, you know. I mean, there are so many things that we have done that every one of you should pat yourself on the back for. I mean, you have all worked so hard in your area, and we challenge ourselves at the board amongst each other because we all want the best for our citizens. So, you know, we do that because we, Joe wants his people to have his stuff, I want mine to have mine, John wants his to have his, Marvell does, and Orlando does, you know? And, so I think that it's important to think about that too as we move forward, you know, and everything that we do is that it's never personal for me, even though we disagree, and you want people around the board that disagrees. If you ever had everybody that agreed, that's not the democratic process. We should always be open to outside ideas. And I will tell you that I'm a better person because I've learned from all of you. Everybody has a different leadership style. It's all unique, but it's all very special. And you are sitting where you are because the people in this community trust you. So just make sure you keep that trust. And I just want to say thank you.
Well,
Because we're friends now.
well, that's gonna be hard you know, yeah, I ran, I guess now 13 years ago, I said a prayer in a deer stand in January, you know, and decided to run. You know, ran on my principles, seen a lot of good stuff happen here. I remember going to see Miss Emily, and she gave me a millage sheet, and I went through it. Thought I knew everything about that, you know. And the value of the mill was $243,000. And leaving this office, we've doubled the value of that mill in 12 years. I've learned, I didn't know I'd get like this. I've learned a lot from each and every one of y'all. Made a lot of sacrifices. Sorry about that. You know, a lot of hard work went into it. When I first got here, Marvell, you were the president, and how you conducted the meeting, I learned a lot from that. I appreciate, you know, everything that you did for me. Took me kind of under your wing if I had a question, concern, or whatever. Even if we disagreed, we always respected each other. And so, through this life and into the next, you're always going to be a friend of mine, for sure. Joe, me and you got elected together 12 years ago. Went down there with Don Posey. He was filling our head up with all these things, and me and you looked at each other in that first lunch and we said, man, we didn't ever have a tiger by the tail that was that big, did we? And you know, we don't always agree on anything, but that's good. We've worked through it. We've seen a lot of good happen in your area, my area, his area, your area, as well as Orlando's. You know, I never wanted to be somebody that held something up and tried to be, you know, overburden, you know, a burden to anybody else's projects. Or, you know, a lot of sacrifice goes into this office. You know, Orlando, I learned a lot from you. You know, you get your facts together, you hold true to something, and that's just, you have something in mind, and you have good reasons, even if me and you disagree. I totally respect your opinion, and I always have, and I always will. Learned a lot from you and your leadership style. Learned a lot from everybody. Brickley as well. You know, after Daniel came in, and I learned a lot from Daniel. I learned a lot from Daniel and Marvell, especially my first term. Orlando, he would tell you statutes, you know, and give you a lot of homework to go do. Brickley, you came in and you took the bull by the horns, you know, and you have done so much in your area, and collectively, you and I, we had Longview Road to fight, and we got that road done. That road's been, you know, needing to be done since the 50s, and you know, people would come to us, we're doing all we can to get that road done, and you would think you were at the top of the mountain, and then the mountain would just grow. And many times, I tell my wife, I said, you know, got Longview Road done, you know, think you have it done, and something else would come along. So, and that's the way of this office, is you have to keep fighting, and plugging away. I didn't think I'd get like this, but you know, I lost my mother in this office. Which was tough. There's 2 board meetings because of that, and a lot of times I'd be here and wouldn't want to be, but that's what's required of me. So I learned a lot from each and every one of you. I love everybody in this room. Miss Sharon, I thank you for all that you've taught me, and you've been there, you know, when I had a comment, a concern, or just somebody I needed to talk to. Mr. Lois, thank you for everything that you've done. As you know, I've been to your office many times just trying to work problems out, and you know, we all, everybody in these seats, we all sacrifice, and we do it not out of selfish reasons. We come here and we want to do the best we can for this county. And like Brickley said, that's why people put you in this office, is that they trust you, they believe in you. And sometimes they take you out of them too, and that's okay too. But I you know, moving forward, now I'm just a citizen of this county, but I want to see it continue to go in the right direction. And I think we can, but you know, a man told me before I even got in office I had been elected, and I was going to be coming in the 1st of January. He said, and I told Joe this when we first sat down, you won't remember the things you got done. It's the things that you wish you could have gotten done. And you know, Orlando said something that stuck in my mind, you know, 4 years goes quickly, and it does. 12 years goes quickly. You think, oh, I got all the time in the world. No, you don't. You really don't. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Rob, what you've meant, I appreciate it. A lot of tough situations you've had to work through, not only for me, but for the county. I mean, where would we be without you, you know? I look back at Mr. Don Posey and all he did for the county, Miss Emily, Mr. Jack, a lot of good people before us, good people in here now, and there's good people coming in the future. And I think that's what makes Oktibbeha County so special. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to my wife, all the sacrifices that you and the kids have made. I can put y'all first now. So, I appreciate it. And Patrick, you as well. I won't forget all the things that you come to me about, you know, and how to make this, the fire service so much better. And Mr. Rosenhan, before you, all the things that he's done, and Joe Pennell, who just passed away. I mean, a lot of good people put their lives into this. And, you know, people have the right to have negative comments, and that's okay. But we're all just here trying to do our damn level best. I know that. So whatever criticism comes your way, like I said, they're not, like Brickley said, it's nothing personal. You're just the position that they attack because they need help. And a lot of times they're not mad at you. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. But a lot of times they just need help. And once they get all that out, it's up to us to give them that help. And I've done the very best I know to do. Made some mistakes. But overall, I'm proud of what I did for the county. Never took a dime from this county. And I gave it my all. So I appreciate everything each and every one of y'all have done to help me through. Thank you.
Thank both of y'all. I'm just gonna quickly say how much I appreciate the opportunity to serve with y'all. I wanna say thank you to each of y'all's family. I mean, I heard a long time ago, once you get elected, you belong to the people. And that's true. I mean, you have to sacrifice family time and things of that nature. And your family is the one that you go home and after you've been chewed out for something that you did your very best on trying to make a decision on. Family is the one that's always there. And I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I hope and trust that God will continue to bless each of you as you travel through your journey in the future. I know there's good things waiting on you. Reflection is always good. And as time passes and you sit down and you reflect, you'll really start to appreciate more and more the service that you offer this county. You know, I know how you feel losing your mother. Just lost mine. I know, but God will always be there.
Yeah.
Trust and believe that. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mark.
John?
Yes, sir.
We were elected together.
Yes, we were.
We had the opportunity to grow together, and I appreciate you and what you meant to the board. Brickley, you came after, and we had the opportunity to grow continually together. I appreciate both of y'all's insight into things that come across this board to be approved or not approved. I appreciate the work that you do and the research that you do prior to coming to the board meeting and the insight that you provide. This board is better because of you and stronger because of you. We're gonna miss you. We made a great team, 5 individuals, I believe. We all had different personalities and we all wanted the best for our district. But with 2, collectively, I believe we all wanted the best for Oktibon County. I appreciate your insight, I appreciate your preparation and your knowledge when you come to sit down in those seats. Thank you for what you have meant to this board. We're gonna miss you, both of you.
And I can echo and say the same thing. I think we got out of the 3,068 counties and parishes, boroughs, I think we got the best. I'll stand on there to take it all the way to DC and back. I think we do some great things. I think we do our best to try to serve in a professional way. I think people are well satisfied, from my opinion, with how we do. We don't always agree, but I think we do it in a way to where the county benefits from it. And that says a lot. I get a chance to interact with a lot of people all across the country and see some of the things that going on in other places. I'm very proud that we opened up the way we do. And even though sometimes we don't agree, I've never seen us lead to a situation where we couldn't come back on another day and handle whatever business needed to be handled. So with that being said, we're certainly looking forward to you all being active and engaged. And one thing that you'll always be is you'll always be a supervisor. You may not be in office, but you'll always be a supervisor. Somebody's gonna call you. You're gonna need some kind of guidance or direction. And you still can have an impact. That's what service is all about.
Well, in government, county supervisors are the closest thing to the people. You're gonna run into them in the grocery stores, they know everything that's going on, you're gonna run into them in church. So, it is a very important position, because, you know, you're on the ground level with them, beside them, right there with them.
Kristen, I didn't mean to leave you out either.
No.
You have, a lot of times you're hard to keep up with, you know what I mean? So, thank you for everything that you've done and all the resources you brought to the county. I mean, the list could be is longer than it reached the floor, so.
I can do it without y'all support, so thank you.
Thank you.
I hate to be Debbie Downer, but we still gotta go into
Yes.
this.
I think I see Mr. Jackson just came.
And that may be a
I guess
good-
it's back to business.
Mr. Jackson, I think we had you on the agenda earlier, but in lieu of some special situations, we can give you up to 3 minutes if you need to come and want to.
Okay, well, I made a mistake. I supposed to come up there, this said the 19th, so the date got mixed up wrong. You know what I'm saying, that's this is how it got.
But
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
take 3 minutes if you don't mind.
Okay.
That'll kind of give us a good segue to transition to executive session. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, how y'all doing?
Great.
Yeah, I got a little situation.
Sit down, sir.
No, I'm good. But I got a little situation down on the family property, and it's going out, it's got too far out of hand. I mean, ain't trying to put you on the spot, brother, you know, you do hay down there, and you see whatever else is being at there, you know, with all the waste and whatever, and the young men don't have no kind of respect. You know, the young generation, I tell you, is sad. Don't have no respect for the elders. And you gotta have respect for yourself, for anybody respect you. And but anyway, and they down there's a whole bunch of negativity going on down there. And I had brought to some people, you know, ain't putting people on the spot. But it's like ain't nothing to be done about it.
Is it trash or sewage or what?
It's trash that's thrown across the street there, and also a whole bunch of bad activities going at that residence.
Hanging out there.
Yeah, and loud music, call somebody, it's just like talking to the sun out there.
Is there an address? Do you have?
Yeah, I think it's two, I think it's 295, I think it is, yeah. And this thing that started going on, it's been going on some years. It's just like
Outlaw Road.
Outlaw Road. And it's probably, it's family property. You know, it's something needs to be done about it. And I have talked to some people, it's just like talking to the wind. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's not right. You know, the youngsters, they have the music going loud all the time of night. You call somebody, it's just like, hey, you know, like you talking about. And I'm a taxpayer, just like everybody else around here. And I feel like something needs to be done about it.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming. You know, we got a new administration coming in, and we'll take all that under consideration. Of course, it's not an easy fix or easy answer to what you're asking, but we can take it under consideration and try to see what we can look at doing from our perspective. So we appreciate it.
I don't feel like that's hard. You know what I'm saying? What the Lord forced it for.
Well, you have to,
You know what I'm saying?
can't.
You know, I'm just bringing it to the board.
That's true.
I'm just bringing it to the board.
We understand that. So we'll take it under consideration. We appreciate you bringing it to us. We'll take it under consideration.
All right.
And then what you can do as a citizen, you hold us accountable as far as.
Oh, yes, oh, yeah.
Trying to come up with some kind of process to do that, because it's a community.
Oh, yeah.
Situation that we
Yeah.
have to look at.
Same thing about if some of y'all community. You know what
Have
I'm saying?
you called the sheriff's department?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. all in the day and the
No,
night?
no, it's been going on, for a while. I mean, some years.
Didn't we do something about a cleanup property one time where there was I thought we did something.
Taxes, we can clean up
If you have
property.
an emergency.
We have done it before.
And the killing part about it, where you can, even y'all three supervisors, y'all go ride on Outlaw Road and look at everybody else's house there, and look across the street there, and there's a SOAC. You know what I'm saying? It's a SOAC. All kind of beer bars and all kind of whatever. And then every house down Outlaw Road, you must have trained, y'all ride down there, and just see what's going on. They see the bottle, and they can tell you what's going on, how the activity's going on.
We don't.
No, I'm just mixed to these guys here.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out a solution for you, and one of the problems we've got though is, in the county, we don't have an ordinance for trash or whatever, so.
I understand, but it ain't, that is a point there. But what I'm saying, I talking about with the loud music, you know what I'm saying? On family property, when it's raining, they'll just drive out there. I was coming home the other day, but it's parked with one of my neighbors.
Is this family property for you, or is it family property for somebody
It's
else?
family property for all of us. It's family property regardless. But anyway, like I say, it's something needs to be done about it. And then when I came home, one of the young men to the resident, he was parked in some out of driveway. They couldn't even get in themselves. Cause the guy turned around at the next resident. And they don't have no kind of respect.
So with that being said, we appreciate you coming. If we can, let's get a motion second to acknowledge Mr. Jackson's presentation. A motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Howard. Are there any questions concerning the motion? All those in favor, let it be known by the clerk of the Senate. Motion passed unanimously. And Mr. Jackson, this is not gonna be a sprint, it's gonna be a marathon.
I hear you talking.
And we're gonna need your involvement in helping us to do this.
Oh, yeah.
As it relates to approach those problems. We certainly appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
Good day.
Y'all have a blessed
You have a great day.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Let me give you a card. Won't you call me this afternoon?
Yes,
So I
sir.
can get a good handle on exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, sound great.
With that being said, is there anything else that we need to deal with before we go into executive session? I don't know whether the camera will be going, but I certainly would hope for the board to consider, the raise that's entitled to the elected official. And I think it would be in order for us to consider it prior to the board coming in, that would be my suggestion. I see what our citizens, our colleagues in Lowndes County did as far as the raise for the elected officials that are entitled to raise, supervisors, I think, attorney, judges, and I guess also the constables.
They're all attached
They're all attached together. And I think that would be something that would be good for us to consider if the board wants to consider that.
I would like to go ahead and make a motion that we accept the raise.
Well, I'll make the motion.
Okay, okay.
Good deal.
I'll second it then.
This is for the incoming board.
How much did it?
It's 2,000, it goes from 50 to 52. Yeah, 50 to 52, that's what,
We already did that last year.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
step,
for
it's a
each
step,
assessed value.
so we have to.
we did it for the first step, and this is the second step, and then it'll be another one at the end
Third
of the
step.
next term, I think.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we got a motion by Supervisor Montgomery, second by Supervisor Howard. Are there any questions concerning the motion?
The election commissioners get this raise too?
They're per diem.
No, I don't.
Who gets this raise? Just the supervisors?
Supervisors,
Supervisors,
justice court
court,
judges,
attorney.
Anybody attached to your salary.
So it's not just the supervisors?
no, not just, I think it's 10 people, I think it's 10,
It's a bunch, I can't remember all of them, but I.
5 of us, 3 judges, 3 constables, and 2 attorneys. I mean,
There's a bunch of
14,
the salaries that are attached to what you guys make, so.
You can't make more than that.
Correct, whenever y'all raise your salary, a lot of folks think you're raising your salary. Well, a lot of times it's attached to other people's salaries that y'all are trying to do as well, so that's just part of it.
Anytime I vote for this, I'm not necessarily voting for a raise for, which is deserving of the board members that work so hard. But to deny that raise is denying other servants of Octavia County that work so hard to to get that raise, so I'm always gonna be in favor of rewarding the people that's working and serve the county.
And I wanted to do that because I know you finna go, and we could've done it after camera, but it needs to be on the camera.
I'll stay.
No, you, cause I think after executive session, we gonna be over. So we got, any more discussion on that? All those in favor, let it be known by the public voting sign. Motion passed unanimously. All right, I think we have,
Motion to go into closed session to determine whether or not we need to go into executive session.
For what? For the raise motion.
For a contract issue that could have legal implications. It's a contract dispute basically, or I need to just